We visit with the mayors on Wednesday. Bobby Gutierrez here this morning from the city of Bryan. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Scott?
Good. I talked to some folks last night, and they said, Scott, tell me what's going to happen to those medians in Bryan. And we want to always do an update whenever we possibly can. I know that there's a lot of discussion going on.
Well, there is a lot of discussion. I met with the median group this week, actually earlier this week with Mr. Jack Robbins, and we went line by line. We met with our engineers a couple of weeks ago and went line by line, street by street, where we need to get these things taken care of. I mean, there's no question about is this a difficulty or not. There's no question whether safety hazards, to me anyway. And gets engineering and data can do anything you want to do. If you have the right engineer, you have the right data. We're looking at all these things. We're going back. We're working very close with TxDOT, and they are advocating on our side too right now. So, the whole thing was the meeting group said that if the city of Bryan said to take them out, they'll take them out, and they had money to do that. Well, that's not necessarily true because I said, well, just take them all out. We don't want them. We didn't want them in the first place. I certainly didn't want them. Mayor Nelson certainly didn't want them. So take them all out. And we said, well, there's some that are needed. I said, well, let's let that be TxDOT's deal, not our deal. If they absolutely think there's some that need to be in there, then it needs to be on them to tell the public because we're getting all the wrath of it. Anyway, we had somebody come into council last night, wanting to meet, and had tried to schedule meetings. And I found the meeting with her would be probably counterproductive. So I chose not to have that meeting. I had a meeting with some of the other people that were on that, on that board, on that median group, and it was very productive. And we've gone through line by line, street by street. So we should know here over the next couple of weeks what their engineers do with our engineers and how that's going. I think it's very positive right now.
I know over the discussions that we've had, I've had people who are in engineering in Bryan say, no, there's a reason for these. They are from a safety standpoint, and the numbers don't lie, and understand that. The inconvenience and the impact financially for businesses is what concerns me.
Well, the safety, I don't know if that's true or not, because the numbers right now, there's been more wrecks than there were prior to them.
Different kinds of wrecks.
So it really is to depend on the data. And me, where at House of Tires at Coulter in Texas, we have those video cameras. We watch that on a daily basis. And if I could just do a rounded number, I would say there's probably 3 what I would call major wrecks every year prior to these. And a major wreck was somebody got a car totaled, not death or anything like that. But, after these have been put in, we were having 3 a month that were total cars that were just, and we have all that on video. We have all that. I mean, people cannot make those U-turns, and then they're getting T-boned right there at that corner, whether the person driving north or south is on their phone, preoccupied, or just doesn't see it, or, whatever that thing is.
So what I want to do is I want to look at, because what your job is as mayor is to have a vision for what this city is 40 years from now. Do you now ask different questions of TxDOT as they get ready to put in new
Absolutely.
work?
I mean, it is there's nothing by chance anymore because there's too much at risk for not only for the city but for the business community. So it goes back to William J. Bryan. If you look at William J. Bryan and all the input, all the citizens' input that went into that, the question we didn't ask, because it shows on pictures 2-lane road going around. It's going to calm the traffic around the park and everything else. We'll have these roundabouts on either end, and the citizens loved it. Everybody loved it. I mean, we had probably 4 or 5, maybe 6 public meetings, and it was, it was attended by hundreds of people who helped design exactly what they wanted. Now, we get them, and, a 2-lane road is different than a 2-lane road. The width of that road now, every inch, every, half foot matters because you don't feel like you can do what we could do prior to when that thing went in. Now, beautification is going to look great if it ever gets finished. Seems like it's never going to get finished, but it's exactly what the citizens wanted.
So let's move on to a little bit of development. There's a lot of things going on all over the city, but I remember the chicken oil company when it used to be what it was, and now it's being redone. Can you tell me where we are as far as that goes?
Well, I think they're on the last leg right now. Hopefully we'll get something done by, hopefully by the summer. We should be finished by then, I would think. I know they want to be up and ready for football season next year. It's the little things. They're going through the details of the design part. They're culling through the mounts, and, the citizens in the city have been very, very good to them. That was a tragic fire. They were underinsured, so there was a big gap. And then, of course, city asked for different stuff because that stuff had to be upgraded. So it had to be up to code, and that's not an easy task on an old building, an old facility, on an old lot. We did as much as we could do as a city to help them get them up and going because it was one of my favorite places, some of my favorite people. So I think we're real close. We're absolutely close. I'm trying to get with Jennifer Ganner here. I was going to text her earlier and find out, but hopefully I'll know something, let you know the next time we're here.
Had what would be considered maybe a spirited discussion with Alan Day yesterday having to do with groundwater.
Groundwater is our biggest risk that we have right now. It's, I've been using terms like race to the bottom of the well. We have the DFC, desired future conditions, and I think it's a race to the bottom of the desired future conditions to where that aquifer, where they feel like it can recharge itself and where they feel like we're going to be in there for the future. I do think that there is no stopgaps. He said something very interesting. He wished that all those water districts were locally controlled. They're not. We have state rule that says we have the right of capture. I'm a landowner. I understand that right of capture. I understand that, you own that property, you own those minerals, you own those oil, gas, water, whatever it is below it. But there's got to be a responsibility for conservation. We have to have, as a city, a conservation plan that provides 50 years of water for all of our city citizens and business industry. The private sector does not. They can pump as much as they want to pump out of it, as much as that's allowed to pump out of it, as fast as they can. And the way these permits were done, the more you pumped, the higher your allocation was. You had that historic condition. So there were people who just pumped as everything you can, full blown all the way. So because when they asked you what your deal is, well, this is how much I pumped, whether you're wasting it and pumping it into the creeks or whatever it is, because at some point you're going to get paid for that water. And we're at that point now. So now here we are. So it truly is. It is a foreign. It is a out-of-state entity, two out-of-state entities, one in San Francisco and one in New York, that are taking everything and taking our resource and going to pump it out to Georgetown, and then wherever that goes, they have other places to get water from. So their 50-year plan is going to reduce our 50-year plan to 6 to 10 years.
So next to medians, we've been hearing a long time, a lot of chat about semiconductor plant and Rellis. Where are we there?
Well, it's interesting. I had a very good conversation with Chancellor Sharp and our new Chancellor Hagar yesterday. We're waiting on the school district. That's the last signature we need right now for them to sign off on this project, and we will hopefully have this thing announced very quickly. And I understand where the school district come from. They wanted a guarantee to make sure the state could not recapture those tax revenue that comes back, that we're incentivizing this company to be here. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't come without that, period. They'd go to another state that would incentivize them. These are 2,500 jobs up to 5,000 as this thing scales out. So, and these are high-paying jobs. This is the kind of jobs that we have always been wanting for and we've been asking for. The school district wants a little bit more teeth in the contract. They want a little bit more teeth to make sure that they're not going to get the recapture. I was assured by both chancellors that there has never been in history, nor will there ever be in history, the state coming after the school district for money not collected in taxes. So we're waiting right now. We have our president of our school boards on vacation on a riverboat cruise, and we got a $13 billion project waiting for a signature, and hopefully they'll be able to come to an agreement, and their attorney will be able to let them know exactly that there is no risk. But there's risk in everything we do. I think there is a performance bond for the state that covers the state of Texas and covers the school district for taxes not collected. So we should be good. It's just a matter of clarification to getting through that process.
Well, an opportunity to meet with the outgoing and incoming. Any other subjects that y'all discussed?
We have a lot of good things happening right now. There's that transition is going to be interesting. It's what I told you before. It's the thing that kept me up more than anything else was who's going to be the next chancellor. We've had a chancellor who has gone above and beyond for not only the city of Bryan, but for College Station, Texas A&M, the system, in our state and our country. We have things here that's happened that has never happened anywhere before, and things are set in motion that can never be stopped because of the momentum we have at Rellis, the momentum we have across our, the tier one part of our campus.
Let's talk about Old Reliance Road. I know that y'all directed staff. You had some options that you'd like to do as you move Old Reliance Road around. Tell us about that.
Well, Old Reliance Road obviously needs to be expanded as well. It's one of our major east-west, connectors. We have Old Reliance Road, 1179. I guess, what is that? Elma Whedon Road and Hardy Whedon Road. Those are our four main things, that we're trying to get done. And those, that's where all our growth is, to the east right now. Now, I think that's going to change. I think we're going to have, once this thing is announced, once this thing's done, there'll be more growth on the west side, planned growth and planned development. That we've done this overlay. Back when Chancellor Sharp first announced Rellis, we did the overlay out there to make sure that we could do a controlled growth and we could plan for it. And that was many years ago.
It was. So, anything else this morning?
No, we have Marina White Night coming up. It's always the third Friday of every month. We are, at some time we kind of tell A&M thank you for what they do. We invite the public. We invite, not only A&M, but, system, university, agencies, departments, and then the public to come out and enjoy, adult night in downtown Bryan. But, it's like last Friday. Last Friday got canceled at the last minute. It didn't have this bad of a weather as we thought. But, you can never really cancel a First Friday. First Friday's going to happen no matter what.
Sure.
And it was really good. And I'm just telling everybody, every Friday's good out there. It's not just First Friday, not just Third Friday, and really every single night's good. So if you're looking for some place to go out and enjoy yourself, downtown Bryan is kind of the place to go where you can have a relaxing evening, go to a different restaurant, different place, sit and watch, listen to music, TV, sports bar, whatever you want to do. There's something there for everybody.
Bobby Gutierrez, Mayor Bryan, thanks for the time this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You bet. You can see the interview archived on our website, or it's also at YouTube. Just type in WTAW and subscribe to the site.